Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here. It's time for Crochet Business Chat. I'm Pam Grice, the Crochetpreneur, and I am on a mission to help 100,000 women become financially free through crochet. So I'm so happy that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about taking your business from hobby or hobby business to professional crochet business so that you can call yourself a crochet CEO. So, we're going to talk about what that looks like, what the steps might be, and be sure to hang out until the very end. I have a special invitation for you, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So, stick around, and we're going to be talking about some fun things today. So, good morning. I'm so grateful that you're here. Go ahead and if you're here live, go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from, how long you've been in your crochet business. Do you feel like you're a hobbypreneur, or do you feel like you're moving into or operating out of that crochet CEO space? I'd love to know kind of where you're starting. Um, yeah, if you don't know what those definitions might be, I created some graphics to kind of make this a little bit easier. So I'm going to walk through those and then pop back in to see if you have any questions. All right, so let me find, I want to have this here. Okay. So here we have just a brief, hang on, these are all out of order. Awesome. Okay, a brief definition of what a hobbyist is and what a professional is. So, a hobbyist specifically would be a person who is involved in an activity in their spare time that brings them pleasure. I don't know if you can hear that. We have construction workers on site pouring our foundation for our back deck. So, they're mixing cement. So, I apologize if you can hear that. Anyway, okay, so a hobbyist is a person involved in an activity in their spare time that brings them pleasure. Okay, a professional is a person who is engaged in an activity with a goal of creating profit, who seeks to become an expert in their chosen field, who pursues this field as their chosen career, and who adheres to a set of professional standards. So, how does this fit with a crochet business? Because it feels like when you have a crochet business, it's kind of a mishmash of both of these, right? So, I'm going to take a look at what does a hobby crochet business look like and what does a crochet CEO look like. So, a hobby crochet business looks like a person who is involved in and takes pleasure in crochet, which I think is all of us, um, in their spare time, and who makes sales just for fun or as a means of funding that hobby or making a small profit. So that's what a hobby crochet business looks like. So a crochet CEO would be a person who is engaged in crochet activities with the goal of creating profits. So the difference here is it may or may not involve pleasure, though typically we want to ensure that we're enjoying our job, right? But it's not a necessity to be a crochet CEO. So, all right, so the goal is creating profit, who seeks to become an expert in their field, so they're constantly growing, who pursues this field as their primary or their secondary career, but who does look at it as a career, and who adheres to a set of professional standards again. So those are, if you look at those two, you can see that there is a difference between those two. And typically when we come into our crochet business, it's directly off the heels of being strictly a hobbyist. We enjoy crocheting, we like making, and people have said, hey, you should start a business, and you start selling. So typically we all come in through that kind of hobby crochet business avenue. But at some point, if you have these goals as you want to create a significant profit, if you want to be an expert, if you want to have a career, you have to make the shift into a CEO mindset. And not everybody can do that easily. Most people don't do that easily. Most people struggle with the actually taking that hobby into a business mentality. So again, let's take a look at just the key points of what the difference is between a hobbypreneur and a crochet CEO. So typically a hobby business will be just like a hobby, a spare time thing. Like when I have time, I'll make some things and I'll sell them. Um, Again, it brings pleasure. It's totally pleasure based of I make things I like, I sell things I like. If I don't like this, I'm not doing it. If there are parts of this I don't like, I'm not doing those. Um, then it makes a little money, maybe. It doesn't always make money. It might not be profitable. Um, so, it might be someone selling at craft fairs who's not actually making a profit. Next, they don't set growth or income goals. Again, it's just for fun. So goal setting isn't really a big part of that. They do not use a strategy. Mostly passion overrides everything. If it's fun, they're going to do it. Um, Typically, a hobby seller has a backup plan. The backup plan is, and the success of the business is optional. So they might have a job outside of their crochet business that they can fall back on if the business doesn't do well, or they might not. But it's basically the success of the business is optional. Whether they make money or not is not a big deal. And they take little ownership of the business. Again, not setting goals, not working towards goals, not reinvesting in the business, that kind of stuff. Okay, and then Crochet CEO plans for profits, and that is with or without pleasure. Sometimes there are things in the business world that are not pleasurable, but are required in order to have a successful business, like maybe some people don't want to market their business. Well, if you're going to be a CEO, your business needs to be marketed. So either you do it or you delegate and someone else does it, but it has to get done. So again, that's different. The difference between kind of a more professional business does what has to be done rather than a hobby business does what's fun. Next, always improving and investing both in the business and in crochet skills. So developing that expertise both as a business owner and as a crocheter. So learning new skills, learning new stitches, learning new ways of creating designs, or whatever it is that you're specializing in your business, and then also reinvesting in those business skills. If you don't know how to do something, investing in learning or investing in hiring someone to do that for you. And again, this doesn't sound super sexy, but I guarantee you it's really fun. You can make it fun based on your own personality and what drives you. And so you might be hearing me talk about Crochet CEO as like, wow, this sounds really boring and stressful. It doesn't have to be. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more down the road. Okay, so a Crochet CEO prioritizes business activities. Again, so it's not a spare time thing. It's I schedule time to focus on my business kind of thing. So even if there is a secondary job of a full-time job, a 9 to 5 or something, they still prioritize business activities as something that needs to get done, not just like, oh, if I have time, I'll do it. Identifies as a crochet business owner. So a lot of hobby businesses, when you go to their Facebook page, their Facebook profile, their personal profile, they won't say anything about their business because, again, marketing that business is not a priority. Whereas a crochet CEO, professional business owner, identifies themselves as a crochet business owner, and they do the marketing and the things that need to get done in order to really embrace that role. Whether they call themselves crochet CEO or crochet business owner or crochet designer, they see it as a career and they happily kind of claim that role and that name. Okay, conducts business activities, obviously, adheres to professional standards, which a lot of hobbyists don't do. And some people who call themselves professional CEOs do. However, trademark infringement, copyright infringement, copying, those kinds of things have no place in a professional business. So you know my stance on that. That has not changed. Okay, for a crochet CEO, success is not an option, it's a goal. And it's something that that person works towards and creates a plan to implement and work toward rather than saying, well, if it happens, it happens. They make it happen. So again, they take 100% responsibility for everything that happens in their business. So crochet CEOs have made an important emotional and mental shifts with regard to their priorities, money mindset, goal setting, and personal and professional growth. And again, this can be really, like from my perspective, super life-giving, super exciting, really fun. But it doesn't have to be. So I don't really talk about that here, but it can be. And again, it all depends on you and how you want to envision your business. CEOs combine a passion for the art with strategic business practices that enable them to create a business that is as big or small as they like. So if you're someone who says, well, I just want to make some extra money to help, buy groceries or pay for a vacation or something like that, that doesn't mean you're not a CEO. You can be a part-time crochet CEO. So this is not about how big you want to become, how much you want to scale. It's more about the mindset of running the business as a business owner and not a hobbyist. CEOs value their work and their worth and price their products and services accordingly. And they display professional conduct in all they do. So they recognize when a customer complains, they recognize that as a business owner, they have responsibility for taking care of the customer, preserving the reputation of their business, that kind of thing. Whereas a hobbyist would be more likely to simply complain or attack the customer in return, that kind of thing, which is unprofessional, right? So again, it's that whole mindset thing of how are you coming at the business? And then they're not afraid of challenges. So as a CEO, you embrace challenges to see how you can address those and overcome challenges and again, meet those goals of your business. They take responsibility. They invest in their future. And when they do that and when they don't quit, their success is inevitable. And that is where that's the beauty of looking at your business from a CEO mindset, is that your success is inevitable because you're not giving up, because you're analyzing data and making decisions to grow your business based on what the data says. So that's what a professional business owner does. So if you are saying, I don't know how to make this shift, like I'm operating out of the hobbypreneur mindset, or I don't know how to do those things that you're talking about, that's why I created this 5-day event that you may have heard about already. If you hadn't, I'd love to invite you. It's a free event that's starting February 7th, so next week, if you're watching this live, February 7th through 11th. It's going to have a daily lesson at 10 a.m. Mountain Time each day inside of the pop-up Facebook group. There's going to be lessons, homework assignments, community giveaways. It's going to be a really fun time, and I hope that you would join us. And I'm going to talk about how to make this shift and specific strategies for making the shift, and giving you some resources for that and how to make it fun and life-giving for you based on the lifestyle you want to have, based on your personality, based on what you enjoy, so you can both love your business and operate it as a CEO. So the link is in the description to join the Hobbypreneur to Crochet CEO Challenge, and I would love to have you join us. And I'm going to pop over into the comments and see what everyone's chatting about, and I'm going to try and get rid of this thing that's over my face. All right, there we go. Okay, so I want to see who is here and if you have any questions. So I'll leave a couple of minutes to answer some questions, and then I'll let you go and get back to work. Annie said she's trying to go from hobbyist to CEO. Rhonda's not quite a business yet, but you can get there. Lisa's making it happen, especially this week. Bonnie said, I like to think I'm a CEO, but I think I fall into bad habits of treating it as a hobby. It's easy, especially when you have kids and you have other responsibilities, right? So again, it's just about creating that priority and putting it on the schedule. And I think you're doing a great job, Bonnie. So don't be too hard on yourself, and then just continue to make the shifts that you want to make for your business. Okay. Stuck somewhere in, I keep forgetting that I can show these comments. Stuck somewhere in between. My goal in 2020 is to fully be a CEO of my business. That is awesome. All right. So Dana said, I think this information would be beneficial to any business, not just crocheters. Yeah, so I agree. I specifically talk to crocheters because I think that they are, there are some unique things about the crochet business that other handmade sellers have different things, but certainly this can apply to any handmade business or any business owner, but crochet is my niche and that's who I talk to. But yeah, I agree with you, Dana. Vegan Crochet says, I fall into the middle at the moment. The mindset and passion is CEO, but oh, well, illness. I have to take baby steps. Yep. And so you have to deal with kind of what comes along. And you can hear my husband waking up over there in the bedroom. Sorry. Kevin. Shh. Dixie said she's a crochet CEO and she loves it. I'm stuck, Sonia. I'm stuck in hobby mode. I'm trying to shift. Full-time job, 3 kids, so tough. Yeah. And so again, it's about making it a priority. And sometimes, there are sacrifices that you have to make as a CEO. And so that might be on my lunch hour, I'm going to work on my business rather than going out with the girls from the office or whatever it is, just, I don't want you to sacrifice your relationship with your spouse, your partner. I don't want you to sacrifice time with your kids. But finding other things where you may be wasting time doing, scrolling TikTok or Instagram, that kind of stuff, where you can transition that and say, how can I work on my business during this time instead of kind of wasting time? I am a CEO, but an introvert and don't like marketing. I want to work on that. Yep. So you might not realize this, but I am about as introverted as they come. Like, I don't ever want to leave home, and I live in 300 square feet. So I don't ever want to leave home. I don't like being in front of camera, but my passion for my business and my passion for helping people, helping my customers, overrides my reticence to get in front of the camera. So it's about saying, why am I doing this? Why is it important to me? And why is that more important than my discomfort? Because your growth is always going to happen outside your comfort zone. So being willing to step outside your comfort zone and do what needs to be done for your business is really important. Okay. Trying to prioritize. I get it. It's double hard when your family doesn't always get it, that it's your job. Yep. It's so true. And then you have to think about, how can you educate them? How can you show them? It has to come from you. That you show them that for me, it's a job. And so then they'll start to understand. So setting boundaries around that and stuff. Yay, you guys are registering. I'm so glad that you're registering. It's going to be a really fun time. I'm going to try and make it really fun to learn new skills, practice new skills, have new resources, but also have prizes and a fun time and get to know some friends too. Okay, so I am going to be almost done. Let's see. I'm working on it. I have a 5-month-old, so starting something right at this moment may be tough. Yep. But I have to say, I am 57 years old and I ran my business while also taking care of my grandson. And so it wasn't easy, but I still did it for 3 years, the first 3 years of his life. So you have to figure out how to, if it's your desire to make it happen, then you figure out how to make it happen, and take care of yourself in the process. I just wanted to say that my son, 18 months old, saw that I was watching this and he came over and kissed the screen a few times. Oh, yes, I do feel the love, Crystal. Hi, baby. I'm having a hard time getting into the mindset. I'm finding excuses due to busy life and putting too much on my plate. Yep. So when you look at the excuses, that usually goes back to either fear or um, or you don't understand your why. You don't know why you're doing it, so it doesn't have that same passion for you. You have more of a passion for the craft than you have for serving your customers. So recognizing how you're helping people and like seeing your purpose in that will really help you to make it a priority. So it's when you can make that shift to say, like, what I'm doing is important and it fulfills me, then you'll be more likely to prioritize it. Do you think I can take the challenge if I can't really crochet? Yes, because like most things I do, it has less to do with the actual making and more to do with the business part of it. So you don't have to be making in order to take this challenge. What if you can't make all the sessions? That's fine. You're going to have 36 hours between when they're recorded live to when they're taken down. So you'll have 36 hours to catch up and watch those videos. So you won't have to worry about it. If you can't make it live, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to let you get back to work, and I'm going to get back to work actually creating those lessons for you. I asked some questions to some people, asked what challenges they're dealing with in making this shift, and so I'm going to kind of cater the lessons around those things. And so I'm going to be spending my time writing lessons today and getting everything ready for you. I hope that just kind of seeing what the difference between hobbyist and CEO looks like might give you an idea of whether you think this challenge will be of benefit to you. And if you are wanting to make being a crochet business owner your career of choice, if you want to, tell people I'm a crochet designer or I'm a crochet maker, rather than saying I crochet and oh yeah, sometimes I sell things. So again, mind shift. I would love to have you join us. So again, the link is down below in the description, and I hope to see you next week at the Hobbypreneur to Crochet CEO Challenge. See you later.